Okay, so playing in the championship of my own process of actually tapping in. Um, Element number 12 in story structure, we were talking about gravity just in this last one, and the point of attraction for this one is sex. Now, we did desire earlier before, but what sex does is it has the power of rapid excitement, just the idea in the gravity of as you're growing older and coming up to speed is that Scorpio energy that has the power to mean a lot of things. Now, again, I was just trying to learn to communicate, and when we go Scorpio, this is really where we go. Um, we used to talk about being good people and bad people, and you can go here with your conscience, but this is really the point of attraction realm that has been, when expressed in Gemini twin, um, to you as the bad person. Um, all these explorations on the far parts of Scorpio, which are the counterbalance, the extra acid to Libra. So this becomes a phone sex in the fairy tale story structure. Phone being the idea of communicating telepathically, and this being the very vibrations, the very emotions that I am giving off through this idea. So what is sex? Sex is the excitement process. It is sexuality. It is penis and vagina. It is the idea of being daring and being cunning, and the idea of working with paradox on a large scale. But how does sex play out in the inspired half-life of a person's life? As it first approaches them when they're young, and all kinds of genital resonances begin to accumulate in their life that become these deep Scorpio points of attraction that then fuel their life as each time they're horny, each time they're see, I have to incorporate these words very nicely into each time they're horny, they begin to go through these archetypal stages within the avenue of what sexuality is. And so as they begin to incorporate Venus Andromeda, as they begin to incorporate what is sexually attractive to them, as they begin to relate it to the lower levels and the climbing process of excitement, this process of sexuality, the cure, disintegration. Now that I know that I'm breaking to pieces, I'll pull out my heart and I'll feed it to anyone. Crying for sympathy, crocodiles cry for the love of the crowd, and 3 cheers from everyone. That whole energy becomes what a person has to balance in their life. So let's go back to the top of the pops again. How does sex rank up? So let's actually delve into the iTunes most downloaded songs right now, and we'll see where the gravity of these energies are. Is that it begins to play out in little pieces, little elemental finite trolleys of oh no, I said too much, I haven't said enough, I said it all. REM. Losing my religion. The idea of just being, I'm sexy and I know it. Turned down for what? In not Orville Redenbacher, Oliver Hill, what is his name? Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, which became really powerful. He had a chapter on sexual transmutation, is the ability to hit those levels of resonance and those speeds, and being able to touch the world with your finger and say, aha, I've got it all underneath me, kind of feeling. And so here is where the brunt of story structure is. They've always said in repressive Pisces cultures that pornography is bad, and so anytime you approach these situations as warm and cold on that inspired half-life, you begin to reflect some kind of downfall that doesn't reflect the way your upbringing was. But when you be completely honest with yourself, the core elements of what make a story emotionally charged and electric and powerful have to do with sex, energy, and anything associated with that kind of thing. Apparently, my sex energy isn't up because iTunes isn't opening the list for me. But there's different ways that characters deal with sex, and it is a very motivating force to throw away the old day, large disappointed audience, 28 degrees, Aries, for something where the grass might be a little bit greener. So this is where all the swear words come in, and what you can really, as Harry Potter, using these as creative wavelengths, you can, Kanye West, before he got with Kim Kardashian, he needed to write out my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. And so, here's even The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. This idea of being comfortable in the darkness with the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now, entertain us. Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. So this actually is a very volatile force. Each person sexually charged. I like to think of it in a cartoon world. Each person sexually charged, and then they go out into the real world, and they have to up and down balance these energies. And what these really are is trolleys of spikes that speak huge bits of communication, and each person does it to some extent, but then it doesn't necessarily pull into a story. So they say Scorpio is the silent sign that doesn't have a voice and doesn't really talk back. But what sex does to the world is it adds to the world. Sex is the nature of the world, and it's the nature of ascending to heaven, essentially, through understanding your body, through understanding others, through understanding the world, through understanding the universe and God and who you are in the grand picture. The little boy of conception, the seed who was in the plant the whole time. And that is sex.